Alright guys, so in this video we're going to be going over how to set up an LLC, how it benefits you, and whether you should set one up or not. I would say for the most part you should set one up if you can, but I would suggest not setting one up right at the beginning. Wait until you at least get a client first. And overall I'd probably recommend making about $3,000 per month before you actually start an LLC. Basically what an LLC does is it separates you from your business. So if you were to get sued by one of your clients, for example, you wouldn't lose your house if the house is under your name. You would only lose what your business has. So like if you own a car or something, you won't lose anything. You will only lose what happens to the business. So basically you're giving the liability to your business instead of yourself, so that you're not personally liable. If someone was to sue you, they couldn't just take all of your money. That's basically what a limited liability company does in an LLC. Now, if you're in another country besides the U.S., I do apologize. You're gonna have to do some research on what specifically your country does for what your country's equivalent to an LLC is, and do some research there. But this is for all my US people for the most part, since I'm in the US and that's where the majority of you guys are going to be. So with that said, basically I would highly suggest using LegalZoom, and that's what I'm going to be going over today, is how to set up an LLC in LegalZoom. Like I said, don't set one up until you at least have a client. So don't worry about this until you at least have a client, preferably $3,000 a month or more total, because it's not going to be cheap to set up an LLC. And even if you go and get it done on your own, actually this is one of the cheapest ways to do it, and one of the by far the easiest ways to do it, because to be honest with you, if you try to go really cheap and get an attorney, pretty much an attorney is going to cost the same price as this. Most attorneys are going to cost more than this. And if you try to, you can set up an LLC yourself, but that's just going to be an enormous hassle, and you might mess something up. So I would highly suggest just using a service like this. It was so easy for me to get set up, and I actually did mine like a week or 2 weeks ago, and I'm getting mine in the mail today. So I'm actually excited. Maybe I'll go show you guys that sometime. But basically, all you're going to do is go to LegalZoom and use my link below. It is an affiliate link. You guys can use it if you want to. I'd really appreciate it if you did, because at least the money's going to somebody. But you guys don't have to use it. I would just prefer, I really appreciate it if you did use the link below, though. Either way, it's fine with me. Go to starting your business, and then go to LLC, and basically I'm going to exit this out, and you can just do whatever you want to call your business. This doesn't really matter because you can change your doing business name as. And think about it this way: if you're trying to open up multiple businesses, you can have multiple businesses under the same LLC, or you can separate them. It's up to you. But this name doesn't matter that much. You don't have to worry about too much of your name. You can just have like a generic name. Like for example, my LLC's name is Willson Holdings LLC, but my actual business name is Willson Media. So basically, you can just call it whenever you want. It's not a big deal. In what state? Obviously, you're going to put your state. But you can, and also in this video, I want to mention that I am not a legal professional and not a tax advisor. I can't give tax advice, so you don't take anything that I say seriously, per se, seriously, but take it seriously. But you guys know what I mean. Just a legal thing. Basically, you guys will want to, if you can, get some advice from an attorney or a tax professional on what state you can choose, because most people form their LLC in their local state, but you don't have to do that. Especially since we're doing an online business, there can be some like tax loopholes and stuff if you do it in other states, but I'm not going to worry about in this video. I'm just going to choose my own state. So from here, we're going to do get my LLC. When do you want to launch? So you could just say your business is already running, because that's when you're going to get this. Is your first LLC? Most likely yes. What does it do? We do social media marketing. And it actually shows up. How kind is that? They actually added this as a business. That's how you know times are changing. How many employees? No. If you do have employees, then obviously going to choose yes. But most of the time, you're going to do independent contractors. So they're not going to be actual employees. You're just going to have like hired people on Upwork, and those aren't actually considered employees. So just consider them. Just say no for that one. All right, continue with LegalZoom. Okay, so this is the one that I choose over here. Like honestly, these other ones aren't that amazing. I would just highly suggest choosing this one. It doesn't make sense to really get these other ones. You basically need an EIN, and getting all the licenses just makes it way easier. Just choose this. well, you don't have to take these months. You can basically say take my included month or do no thanks, because I mean, you probably want to do, if you don't want to pay these extra fees, then you just do no thanks. Express Gold, this is the one that I personally chose. You get seven days thing, and you get like a book with it, I believe, as well. That's one of the cool things. You actually get this really nice book. I'm really excited to see that. So you get the printed certificates and seal. I'll show you guys that if I can. Maybe I'll put a picture below the video or something once I get it. But if you want to be, if you don't have that much money, you can do one of these other ones. Just look into detail of what they all include and just check on what you need. And if you don't need some of the faster things, I just wanted to get mine really fast, so that's why I did the most expensive one. But you guys can choose whatever fits your budget, whatever you think fits your needs best. This is up to you. Obviously, you need to take your time and do these and figure out what things you want. And then you just continue to check out. And as you can see, my payment was $713. But the nice thing is you can do an installment plan, and it splits it up over 3 months. So that makes it way easier to pay, especially if you already have a client paying your monthly fees. Your client's going to basically cover this. So that's why I say don't do this until after you have your business. This can range, if you do cheaper methods, this will range anywhere from like $200 to $300 up to $700 or $1,000. $1,000, it's probably not going to go any higher than $1,000. But keep in mind as well, you're going to have to pay about $300 yearly as well to keep your LLC updated. And they will basically, LegalZoom, if you do that, basically LegalZoom will take care of that for you. So they are going to charge you like a $300 per year fee to continue this service for you. Make sure all your documents are up to date, because if you don't have your documents up to date and the state changes something, then basically the state will make you pay a fee, which is going to be more than that $300 anyways. So you just want to make sure that you just do that $300. They're going to automatically do it for you. So basically you have to opt out of it if it doesn't go through. But do know it's going to cost anywhere from $300 to $500 every single year for them to update all of your information for you for your LLC. But you want to do that, and you have to do that because the state requires you to update everything. So, and you're going to be paying the same stuff with an attorney anyway, so it's really normal, and this is actually a very good price. I mean, you're starting an official business. It's not meant to be cheap, and most of this isn't even going, a lot of this isn't even going to LegalZoom. It's going to the state itself. But with that said, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.